Hello, my beautiful rebels and questioners of authority. This is the weekly energy update for the week starting Sunday, August 16th. And that being said, in case you haven't heard me say it before, this energy doesn't necessarily play with just Sunday through Saturday, and that's it. In fact, this energy has been called in with the eclipse earlier this week, and it's really highlighting where you are still clinging to the past. So clinging to the past is what was drawn. It's the only card that showed up this week. It was the only one that was needed, because it's really asking us to be very specific in our focus, to really become aware, somatically aware of where we are still holding on to our patterns, to our fears, to our experiences inside our body that are no longer relevant right now, that are no longer needed, that are keeping you from being present in this very moment, that keep you from truly embodying your soul and your soul's divine purpose for you. All right? So as a reminder, this entire month, we're really facing our fear, and the biggest part of that is facing our power and that fear of the unknown. And our power is unknown. The breadth, the infinite, expansive nature of our soul's power is unknown to us. And that freaks our minds and our bodies out, all right? And so we cling to the past. We cling to all those old experiences that taught us we need to stay small. We need to please others. We need to make sure that we're perfect. We need to make sure that we aren't upsetting others. We need to make sure that we belong and are accepted by others around us. And I am here to tell you and to remind you, you are already whole. You already belong. You belong to God. You belong to yourself. You belong to your soul. Anyone else you don't need to belong to. That's bullshit. It might feel nice, and it's great when we find others who sync up and who we do truly belong to. But if you haven't found anyone, or you keep thinking you found it and then it turns out not so much and they keep slipping away, that's because you need to remember and to accept that you are whole and you belong to yourself and to God, and you don't need to belong to anyone else. You don't need to be accepted by anyone else. You are here to remember and to accept yourself and your soul into your body. And when we cling to the past, you can think about it as clinging to those old patterns and those old habits, those old stories. By putting on the lens that filters everything we experience from this point on through that lens of the past and prior experience. There is a difference between filtering everything through that lens of experience and choosing the same old response that we've been conditioned to choose without thinking it through or letting it really resonate into our somatic awareness so we can choose something that is appropriate for right now. So that's what we tend to do. We tend to filter everything through this lens of past, of clinging to the past experience and the same old responses and patterns. What we're being asked to do, remember last week, we're asked to forge a new path. And if you haven't signed up for the free membership in Embodied, what are you waiting for? Because last week's August 8th recorded call, the activation in there really activated your soul inside your body, and to create space between that stimulus that initial moment of experience, create a gap that allows your soul to be openly curious and choose with awareness your response. Stimulus, somatic awareness, this gap, this beautiful gap, and then your response instead of boom, knee-jerk reaction, which is what we normally do. We start acting on autopilot. This gap allows that wisdom of experience to come in. That wisdom with the innocence of open curiosity as to what's here, what's new. What is it that I have never experienced? Because you've never experienced this moment before. Or this one, or this one, or this one, or this one, or this one. It's all new. But you're not going to register it if you're still wearing those lenses of the past. So this entire eclipse season, we're starting to really see, and moving into this week, we're really starting to get the ability, that clarity to see where we're still filtering our current experience through the lens of the past. And then it's your opportunity to let go. It's time to let go. All right? So, if you're not sure about how to feel things somatically, and really that clinging to the past, it's these old patterns, these habits. And what these old patterns and habits do, they teach us to ignore what we're feeling right now and the sensations inside our body. They teach us to ignore that and go with, we pull up like a Rolodex, like, oh, I remember something similar to this. And there goes my camera again. Something similar to this. So I am going to then respond this way because that way worked last time. And you keep repeating and repeating and repeating the same responses over and over and over again, whether they are relevant, whether they turn out great or not, every single time. And then you keep wondering, why do I keep repeating this stuff when it's not working? Because you're not in your body. You're not living in here. You are not somatically aware. Sorry, I was about to cuss. You are not somatically aware of what's going on. And so if you don't know where to start with that, then this week through August 22nd, you're going to get a deal. So on my website, there is this masterclass, the Self-Love Masterclass. And I did this, I think 2.5 years ago. And I recorded it. And so it's available for purchase on my website. And for this week, you get $6 off. So it's normally $15. So it's not going to break the bank either way. But now it's $9 for this week. It's only available for purchase through the end of this month. All right. You get, once you purchase it, you have access to it for as long as it lives on my website. And I have no plans to take it down for as long as it lives there. So for the lifetime of that course, you have access to it. All right. That doesn't disappear at the end of the month. But if you don't sign up for it before the end of August, then you got to wait until I open up enrollment for it again. Okay. It's a 75-minute masterclass. It's called the Self-Love Masterclass. And I got to be honest, I'm not a huge fan of the name at this point, but it's what I called it at the time. And I didn't have the language at the time because I was still new and exploring so much for myself. But what I was teaching was this somatic awareness of emotions and as sensations in your body. So what I love about me not really having the language or knowing exactly what I was talking about at the time, it means that I was teaching for beginners, really for those who need that beginner entry level somatic awareness. We have 2 guided meditations in there. When you purchase the course and you go to the course video, I have a a document you can download to help track some things because I ask you to write some stuff down. I ask some questions and some prompts during the masterclass to really help you integrate things. And I also list out chapters and kind of the outline of the class and where you can get to it so that after you go through it that first time, when you really just need this part or that part or that part, you can go straight to it. So it's a fantastic deal this week, only $9 through the rest of the month, $15 if you don't catch it through August 22nd. You don't need a discount code. As soon as you access it, it is the discount is applied if it's still active, and I will link it in this video, and otherwise you will find the link on the homepage of my website. You might just have to scroll down just a little bit to find it, okay? But the goal here is to support you in increasing your somatic awareness, increasing your ability to catch yourself in real time. And the real time is going to come after some practice. So if you're just starting out, you're going to catch yourself afterwards, right? You're going to be like, oh, but you can come back to it in memory because your body holds memory, right? Not just your mind, your brain, your body. We hold this sense memory so you can come back to it. If you spend a little time maybe before going to bed each night and you like do a little rolling inventory of what happened during the day and you're like, ooh, I didn't really think about how I responded. I just responded. And you let yourself replay that inside your body. You let yourself feel the sensations in your body. I did this earlier this week when someone confronted me about something that I had said a few days before, and that was no big deal for me, but apparently it had been simmering and festering for them for those days before they brought it to me, and they came to me rather verbally aggressive, and immediately my body went on high alert. Like I could feel it, and I could feel it in real time, and I was aware of it, but I couldn't necessarily allow myself to fully process. And I did have more conscious awareness of my response and how I responded. So I was able to create that gap. But then later that night, when I was going to bed, I could feel that body response coming up again. I knew that I had to do something to really process through it and let myself fully feel it, fully let that stress move through me, and then alchemize and shift out of me and let it go, so that I didn't hold on to it and keep repeating that pattern over and over and over again. So let me tell you, the Self-Love Masterclass, get it while the getting's good, okay? It's a beautiful spot for you to start as a beginner, starting with some somatic awareness. You get shares from the couple of folks who attended live. And if you aren't a member of my online community, Embodied, it is free. I do know that there are some changes coming, and that particular membership may not be available much longer. I'm not entirely certain what's going to happen, but if you're not a member yet, get in now. Because if you're a member there, when it shifts and changes, there's going to be a special gift for you if you want to transition to what the next thing is. So, regardless, let the energy show you this week where you've been clinging to the past and where you need to let it go. Let yourself dive into that space between stimulus and response and really start to widen that gap. Take longer pauses. Let people wonder why you're not speaking and responding right away. Let yourself pause. Put yourself on pause. All right? Let yourself feel and become more aware, that neutral observer inside your body in real time. What's happening? Oh, Okay, I'm feeling really on edge and anxious right now. Huh. All right. Oh, look at that. That feels like this knot and heat growing in my belly. Oh, and I feel some constriction in my throat. Huh. It's all just information. You don't have to get so absorbed in that anxiety that you attach and identify with the anxiety. You can train yourself to become that neutral observer, like I just modeled for you. And when you do that, the magic starts to happen. Oh my God, your life becomes truly magical. So let yourself be openly curious about where you're clinging to the past, where you're just reliving patterns over and over and over again. Check out the Self-Love Masterclass, links in the video description below, or it's linked on my homepage of my website. I love you all so very, very much. Take care. I'll see you next week.